The Dyatlov Pass Incident. What really happened to the 9 hikers? It is February 1959. The Ural mountains of Soviet Russia sleep beneath an ocean of white, endless ridges, buried forests, valleys frozen in silence. And through that silence moves a line of 10 dark shapes, small against the vastness, 10 hikers, their breath trailing into the cold. They are young, strong, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. At the head of the group walks Igor Dyatlov, 23 years old, calm and determined. Behind him follows Zina Kolmogorova, Rustam Slobodin, Lyudmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, Semyon Zolotaryov, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonischenko, and Yuri Yudin, the 10th member whose journey will soon take a different turn. Their goal, to reach the distant mountain the Mansi people call Otorten. The name means, don't go there, but they don't believe in warnings. They believe in endurance, in youth, in the thrill of challenge. The first days pass peacefully. Photographs capture laughter in the snow, makeshift tents, steaming bowls of porridge. They play the mandolin. They write in their journals. But soon, Yurien falls ill. Pain in his back, a fever that won't fade. He waves goodbye through the flurrying snow and begins the long journey home. He will never see the others again. Now 9 remain, and ahead of them lies the wilderness, vast, white, and silent. They press on. The trail disappears beneath the drifts. The wind thickens. The mountain weather turns cruel. Their diaries speak of worsening snowstorms, of compass needles that spin and falter, of a deepening unease. By February 1st, they reach a slope of the mountain called Kolitsaikal, the Mountain of the Dead. There they make camp. Why they chose this exposed slope, no one can say for sure. Perhaps the failing light, perhaps a navigation error, perhaps something else. They pitch their tent against the wind. 9 people inside, huddled close, laughing, eating, resting, unaware that none of them will ever leave that tent alive. Days pass. No word comes from the hikers. When the group misses their expected return date, families grow concerned. A search party forms. Students, teachers, locals, and finally, soldiers. It takes them weeks to find a camp. When they do, what they find makes no sense. The tent is still standing, half buried in snow, but cut open from the inside. Inside are boots, coats, food, journals, everything neatly arranged as if they had left in a hurry. Bare footprints lead away from the tent, into the trees. Barefoot, in the middle of a blizzard, the searchers follow the tracks. 500 meters down the slope, at the edge of the forest, they find the remains of a small fire and 2 bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko, both barefoot, bare-chested. Their hands burn black from trying to keep the fire alive, their bodies frozen, faces turned toward the mountain. A few hundred meters away, 3 more, Dyatlov, Zina, Rustam, all lie in the snow as if crawling toward the tent, each showing signs of struggle, bruises, a fractured skull, a broken nose, but no clear cause of death, just the cold and fear. The remaining 4 are missing. For months, the mountain holds them. When the thaw finally comes, rescuers find them, half buried in a ravine, under several meters of snow. Their injuries are worse. Lyudmila Dubinina, missing her eyes, her tongue, and part of her face. Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, skull crushed. Alexander Kolevatov and Semyon Zolotaryov, ribs broken, lungs collapsed. Yet their bodies show no external wounds, as if struck by a massive force from within. One investigator writes that their injuries were comparable to a car crash. And still, no sign of anyone else. The official report offers no explanation. It calls the deaths the result of an unknown compelling force. But the truth refuses to rest. In the years that follow, theories multiply like shadows. Some whisper of an avalanche, though the slope is too shallow. Others suggest a secret military test, explosions, or mines hidden in the snow. Radiation is found on some of their clothing. Was it from weapons or from the luminous paint of instruments they carried? Witnesses nearby report strange lights in the sky that night, glowing orbs drifting over the mountains. Locals tell of inhuman sounds echoing through the valleys. And the Mansi people? They say the mountain was cursed long before the hikers came. Even today, nothing fits cleanly together. The footprints, the shredded tent, the missing eyes, the quiet fire that burned through the night. Something terrified 9 experienced hikers enough to run into a sub-zero storm without shoes. Something or someone. Decades pass. The files are reopened, re-examined. The conclusion remains a natural disaster. But even the new investigators admit there are details that refuse to die. A torn tent, a scream carried by the wind, a force no one can name. Somewhere, deep in the snowfields of the northern Urals, the wind still howls through the pines. Locals say it sounds like voices crying out from beyond the ridge. Others say that on still nights, you can see faint lights moving through the trees. And if you listen closely, you might hear the flap of a tent opening from inside. The mountain remembers, and it keeps its secrets well.